Dreams to Dream. Like I said, it's come out November 7th. That sounds so good, man.
Listening to the album.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Man, put headphones on. We're listening to your baby.
Oh, weird.
What's weird about it?
It's a steel guitar on country radio.
And harmonica.
Who would have thought? It's come a long way from Blue
Jake?
Foot Blue Jean Night.
That's right.
How you been, man?
I'm really good. I'm really great.
Man,
How are you guys?
And you're good, too.
Good, man. I was thinking about
I'm
you.
what?
You said I'm really good, and then you went, great.
Did I say good? I was,
No,
I
we
was
do
looking
it-
at the green giant cream-style corn over here.
Yeah,
and I think I was
look at
like,
those giants.
Right,
Look at those giants. Look at that.
It's us we're the Green Giants.
Oh, how are you guys? You guys look good. It's been a minute
look
since I've
great.
been in here.
I was thinking about this morning. I knew you were coming in. And I was like, because I love the new, like, kind of going old school sound, country. It's great. And I know you did the UK thing. That was awesome, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Wasn't that fun? Was that your first time over there?
The Opry or
Actually, the second time, I was
pull that
over a
microphone
couple
up.
years ago for C2C, and I feel like I kind of crushed it when I was over there. And reason being is because I'd never been there before, so I was like, this is my first impression on these Europeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did pretty well. And so they asked me to come back with Darius. This past couple weeks ago, we went over there, and it was awesome to be there, like not on a festival, like be there, like people see you play.
Yeah.
And it just gave me a great opportunity to introduce myself, not only with songs that we all know here, like big hits and stuff I've had, but because they don't play it there the way they play it here, I felt like the freedom to play these new songs, because I was like, well, they don't know some of my other ones anyway. And man, I was blown away that like these new songs that I've been releasing, they knew every word.
Yeah,
And
they're all into it.
It was awesome.
Well, I was going to tell because I know you finished out with Barefoot Blue Jean Night, and I don't know that you kind of physically or mentally are like, I kind of want to be, it's a new chapter and all that kind of stuff. But I thought about it this morning, Barefoot Blue Jean Night is someone else's In Color. It's someone else's The Note. It's someone, when they heard that, it had such an impact on them that it still has its place.
Well, thank you for saying that. I was just explaining this a second ago that, I was asked if, because of this new music, like, when I play stuff like Barefoot Blue Jean Night, does it feel weird? I'm like, no, because, I took a major, in my mind, I feel like I took a big risk kind of walking away from what I would call like your major label record deal in Nashville and saying, I think I don't need another one right now. Like, I'm going to go to LA and make an album with Shooter Jennings, which is the same risk I kind of took when I looked at Tony Brown, who's an incredible man, an incredible producer. They produced everything from obviously Vince Gill to Steve Earle's Copperhead Road to every George Strait album. And I remember telling him back in 2011, after Joe Galante said, man, you really need to find a new producer. I think Tony Brown would be good for you. And we recorded a couple songs that are on the Barefoot Blue Jean Night album. But I said, Tony, man, I love you. I love what you've done. But I feel like the sound of these songs isn't differentiating me from the rest of the pack right now. And I know this sounds crazy, but I met this guy named Joey Moy who's going to move here from Canada, and he did all the Nickelback records, but I think he's going to make me sound different. And if you don't mind, can I take these few songs that we cut, take them to him, have him remix them, and then I'm going to make the rest of the record with him? And I'll never forget, Tony Brown could have been like, what? And he looked at me, he's just like, that's exciting. I can't wait to hear what you guys do.
Wow.
That's him.
And I guess what I'm getting at is, I'd been on tour with Alan Jackson, Brooks and Dunn. This is, before 2011, like the whole 2005 to 10 wasn't like loops and claps and beats and people making music in one room on a computer. It was still in the era of like a lot of, the more, it was like
organic.
the end of 90s country, 2000s country. And all of a sudden it was like these big stomps and claps and loops and like computerized music in a way that, because we were in a small room making it together. But it changed everything for me. And a lot of my friends at the time were like, dude, what is this sound you're doing? Like, it's totally different. And so I look back at that time in my life and I'm like, holy cow, I actually took a risk then. Yeah. And it paid off for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to just settle into where I should have been, because up until that point, I had 7 years of a record deal, and I had a couple, like, Don't Think I Can't Love You, Yeehaw, Starting With Me, these songs, but no number ones. They were all just like hits on the radio. But everyone kept telling me, until you have that big number one, man, like things will change. And when I changed my sound and I changed the feeling of it, even though it was a risky move, it changed my life. And so that was in 2011. Here we are, 2025. Like, it's just a different season, man. I was a 29-year-old kid then. I'm 44 now, and I've had a divorce. I've gone through some heavy stuff. Got sober, and so I just felt like now's the time for me to make that next change.
Yeah.
And I've always been an evolution kind of guy. I love the Jake Barefoot Blue Jean Night guy, but I say in that song, never gonna grow up, never gonna slow down. I've grown up, and I've definitely slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
And so
that's okay.
Yes.
That's great.
And I
actually.
think my fans that were fans of mine at my same age, at 23, 24 years old, that were at my shows, are now 44 years old like me, and they have kids, and they have lives, and they've had the ups and downs, and they've had loss of family members and friends, and I want them. I'm hoping that, like, as I mature, like they've matured with me, and they'll still support what I'm doing now. So
well, I think they're gonna just like we are, just love what you're doing, what you're making. It's like,
I like this new project,
Oh,
and I
it's
love that
so
you did it with
good.
Shooter. Look, we have a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Give us just a sec. We're going to come right back. Jake Owen is back.
he's
Brand
back.
New album,
Look at that guy.
baby.
That's Jake
That's
Owen,
Jake
Bubba.
Owen.
All right, we'll talk more with Jake coming up.
thank y'all.
Jake Owen is with us. He just taken a hit of some smelling salts. It's pretty good, isn't it?
Nice.
You know what that reminds me of? Is like being a beach Florida kid and like jumping in the ocean and like getting just a rush of salt water up
right
the
your
nostrils.
nostrils? Yeah, it's
and
hard.
being like, woo.
Yeah. That's what all the NFL players use, man.
These?
Yeah, man. That's what and UFC fighters,
Weightlifters.
and we use it in the show sometimes. We pass it around and
We get
sniff
funnier whenever we smell those.
it. Get you some of it. You're gonna addicted
You
to
keep
it.
going back. What are
Yeah.
you doing? No.
That's guys,
You're in.
That's why I
I know.
get sober, man.
Put the bottle down.
I'm a guy that, like, once I like something, go all in. I'm
that's great, though,
I'm already
for road-
Amazoning. How do I get
How
smelling
do I
salts?
Smelling
create?
salts are
They'll
great
send
for
you a
road
link, trust
trips,
me.
though. When you're on a road trip and you're getting tired, man, you just, you hit that and you're like, all right, I'm good for another 200 miles.
So, but like, what is?
It's
like,
just ammonia.
it's ammonia.
That's
That's
why
why
it
it
smells
smells,
like-
like a litter box.
It does.
That can't be good for you, though.
It's not.
Huffing
No,
ammonia.
no, that take 2 years off every time you do it. They say. I don't know. Jake has a new album. It's coming out on the 7th called Dreams to Dream. We're just kind of listening through some of these of the album. You got a great album when you get Jamie Johnson on this one. By the way,
When I was making this album with Shooter, I wanted a lot of the songs. Obviously, I told him, I was like, dude, I got a lot to write before I get out there. I have a lot to say. And he's like, don't overthink it, man. Like, write what you feel. But then let's find some great songs. Maybe you'll cut some that are covers you've always loved. And I was like, well, yeah, but I feel like I need to, like, this album with you, I need to, like, pretty much write everything because I feel like I want it to come from me.
yeah.
And he's like, my dad didn't write everything. Like, my dad's biggest songs he didn't write.
Good point.
And he's like, George Jones, some of his biggest songs didn't write. Johnny Cash didn't write them.
George Strait.
George Strait, all of them. And he's like, but what my dad was great at was recording songs he loved. And because he loved them, he delivered them in a way that it was so believable you thought he wrote it.
And we're talking about Waylon Jennings.
And we're talking about Waylon, yeah. And so I said, you're right, man. And so I started thinking about people that would get the vibe of what I was doing with Shooter. And Shooter and Jamie go way back, and they love each other. And so I just reached out to Jamie, who I've known forever, and said, hey, dude, I've never done this either. Because you guys, Jamie's a different type of guy. He can be intimidating.
He's like the mob of country music.
Yes, but he's also the kindest, softest human, like, underneath all this burly
if he likes
beard.
you, he loves you.
Right.
But
And-
it's to get him to the point to where he likes you, where he knows you enough to go, okay, you're in the club.
But he also, I got to give him a lot of credit too. He's done a lot of change in his life, like we all have. That's part of this music for me too. Is like we're all finding out. Like you have to go through the journey of your life to really understand the maturity of who you are, and like there's a constant shaping of who you want to be, right? And so I look back at the days of the wild Jamie, and now, like him getting sober as well, and he got married, and this girl, he said the minute I met him, or the minute I saw him the last few times, he's like, man, I met this girl, she changed my life, I'm marrying her, and now he's married, and he just seems like a different human. So anyways, I said, dude, I'm making this album with Shooter, you have any songs that you wrote or you think would be cool for this type of record? And he's like, give me a minute. And a few minutes later, he sent me 2 songs. This is one of them. And the other one he sent me was just as good.
All for a quarter a spin.
But it didn't have this on it.
There's rhythms that'll send your heart racing. And fables about the world you're facing.
And
a cold mug so you can drink it all in.
Okay,
Yeah, it's so good.
so the cool part about this is I said, hey, Jamie, listen, dude, I love this song. There's a long extended solo in the middle of it, and I have a weird idea. He's like, what's your idea?
What do you want to do there, Jake?
I said, dude, there's a song by David Allan Coe, which I love, called Don't Cry, Darling. And it features George Jones. And George Jones does not sing on the song. He comes in and he does a recitation where he says basically, because David Allan Coe is saying, you know, things just ended up the way they are, but don't cry, darling, it'll be all right. You know, sometimes things just don't work. And then George comes in and says, well, you know, old David really loved you. And like kind of, so I said, Jamie, will you write a recitation? And like, I'm sure people have asked you to sing on their record before, but I want you to speak on my record.
All but his dying words told you so.
There you go.
there
There's
it
George
is.
doing it.
I've never heard
But
this.
that strong stuff,
Well-
oh, it was always his weakness.
But
I totally feel.
Jamie had never heard this song. He's like, oh my God, dude. He hit me back on text. He goes, this song's amazing. We should record it. I was like, cool. I'd love to do that with you. But and then he hit me back and he's like, Dean Dillon wrote this song. I can't believe I don't know this song.
Dean Dillon does all the George Strait songs, by the way.
Yeah. So it was just a cool moment. And I got him. He not only did what Jamie does best. I mean, he wrote that recitation and the way he delivers it, the way he wrote it, and then the song as well. So it was just like to have Jamie on this album with my respect of his and everything he's ever done was just like, it was literally like putting a cherry on
for sure.
top, right?
The album is it's coming out on November 7th. It's called Dreams to Dream. Jake Owen, he's back, and we'll talk more with Jake coming up. Hang on. Jake Owen has got a new album that's coming out November 7th. It's called Dreams to Dream. Hey, remember when we hooked your brother Jared up with a blind date?
Oh my God. I still laugh about that, man. That was back in like, I bet if I had to think about it, that was maybe pre-Barefoot Blue Jean Night. I think it was like 2010.
It was. I think that was like
2009.
when Starting With Me was new.
You know what?
That was how much I had going on in my career that we were creating opportunities for my twin brother to date chicks, right? It's like, well, what can we talk about today?
Hey, we did a contest, date Jared or date
Jake Owen's
Owen's
brother.
brother Jared. And it was his twin, and he walks in, and he doesn't look anything like you. I didn't know it was a fraternal twin. I thought it was identical twin, and it's just not. And God love him, but he's not as good looking as you. And I don't think
I
don't
found
think it
You
worked.
heard that,
I
Jared.
found it. It's 16 years ago. So yeah,
Oh
it's
my God!
Yeah, 2009.
2009.
Good call.
I called it.
Nice.
I called it.
Good job.
Dude, I found the video. It's so.
I think I had a
Oh my
denim
gosh.
shirt on.
I
yeah,
know.
you did. You had
Wow.
a denim shirt and denim jeans.
Yeah, I
You're
was
like so
Barefoot
Brittany
Blue
and,
Jean guy,
and
you know?
Justin.
We've done so much dumb stuff. So dumb. But we are loving this new album. It's called Dreams to Dream.
Were you and Shooter listening to Songbird at the time? The new Waylon Lost tapes that
So-
Shooter had done? Because I feel like there's a lot of that in this.
Well, it's just really, this whole way this happened was so serendipitous. We really hit it off. So he'd posted that he was making albums, making new records out at Sunset Sound in LA. And of course, since I'd left my record deal at Big Loud and since Joey Moy was my producer and he's at Big Loud, I'm like, now I don't have a record deal. I don't have a producer. What am I going to do? And there weren't a lot of people calling my phone, dude. Like after 20 years in this business and 10 #1 songs, like I was in a way, I was a bit like insecure about it. And I thought, well, what haven't I done to like, but it's just the business, man.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
they're never looking to help a guy who's had a legacy career have more of a legacy. They're looking to build the next kid. Right?
Jerry Reed had this conversation with us decades ago. He said, because there was Big D asked him about the animosity towards the new guys. He goes, why? He goes, I was one of the new guys back then.
Yeah.
He said, that's just the way this goes. Everything, whether it's sports, music, whatever your industry is, there's always the new guys, the next generation.
Yeah, it's awesome. And all these new guys that are doing the stuff now, like, I think it's great. But for me, I was like at this place where I was like, well, what am I going to do? And kind of like I was when I'd had some hits, but not big ones. And like, I pretty much, Joe Galante was like, you need to find a producer and have a hit, or I thought I might lose my record deal back in 2009 or 10. Which would have been fine too, because I never thought I'd get one in the first place. And then here I am 20 years later, walking away from one and wondering what I'm going to do. And out of all people, Shooter, it's like, dude, the way you sit with your guitar and play these old country songs, like, why don't we do that? Let's do that. And he's like, he applauded me for it.
Yep. And
so, long answer to your short question about do we listen to the Waylon stuff, he played me some of the stuff when I got out there because he was so excited about it. But it was so cool because Waylon produced the album on Hank Jr. called The New South, and the first song on that is called Feeling Better. And he says, I moved on down to Sweet Home, Alabama in 1974, had to get out of Music City, had to get off the road. My woman, she left, and the people wouldn't let me sing nothing but them old sad songs. I had to get high so I wouldn't cry. You know, it hit pretty close to home. Well, Waylon produced that on Hank. And so for me to think that I was leaving Nashville, going to L.A., at the time it was on fire, by the way, which was metaphorically like I was heading into the fire. And sometimes that's what you got to do in the hardest moments of your life. And for Shooter to produce this album on me, and it was like about leaving a place that I dreamed of coming to. And so that's why the album Dreams to Dream is like, even though I'm 44 now, like you can never stop dreaming. And you can, because when you do, the fun of life is over. Mm-hmm. And like, to me, it's always been like, what's next? What's the next chapter of this new guy of my life? And like, I never thought I'd be where I am right now as a mature father, sober after 4 years. Like, it's changed my world.
You've brought up the sobriety part a lot in this little conversation that we've had. That's been a big change for you.
Dude, it's been a big change for me because I never was a big drinker, but when I did drink, I was just a total jerk. And I ride the line of like, I mean, you guys probably know this, you know me for years. Like, I've always told people I've been mistaken as a kid that maybe had like, I'm not a kid anymore, but coming up, like I was always mistaken as a kid that was a bit cocky and like had this arrogance about him, but it wasn't. It was my insecurities, man. Yeah. Like it was my insecurities in wanting people to believe I was good enough to be here. So I think I kind of always tried to show you that I could, you know? And people are like, dude, like relax. You don't have to peacock all the time. I'll never forget Charles Kelly telling me that one day. He's like, you're just Jake. Like sometimes you come into a room and you're like, you're the peacock. Like you're the guy who's just like, and I was like, whoa, that's not me. I don't want to ever be like that. And as I've matured, I just realized I'm like, sobriety for me has given me a calmness and a peace that where like, I don't have to wake up in the morning anymore after a night out on the town or at a function or something and go, oh my God, like, what did I say last night? Because I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Why is there not a door on my car?
Yeah, thankfully I never did anything stupid. Thankfully I never did anything stupid like that. But I just realized that, like,
Scott Shannon. Let's go above a radio guy, bro. Scott Shannon. He showed up one day. His door was off of his car.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know. But I just like I don't care that people drink. Like that some people are better at it than others. I just like I just needed it for my own life, and like I want to be a good example to my little girls. And my little girl who's 6, like she's basically never seen me really drink. Like, and maybe when they get older, and I'm seeing it with the new generation too, like the idea of like, you got to have alcohol to have fun and all this, like it's kind of subsiding a little bit. Like people are realizing like, oh, I don't have to have that to have a great time. And anyways, you did say that I bring it up a lot. It's just because like it's been a major attribute to the happiness of my own life. And I feel like without preaching about it, I mean, I don't go to meetings or anything like that. I just like,
you just quit?
One day I was like, I don't ever want to be that jerk again. And I promised my friends that they'd never see me do it. A lot of them were like, yeah, right. And 4 years later, they're like, dude, I'm so proud of you. Yeah. And what I've done is inspire some of my other friends who have seen the happiness in me and seen how like just my life's gotten better. And they're like, I think I'm going to do that too. And I'm not telling them to. They see it.
Still playing a lot of golf?
Yeah.
Is that still your drug of choice, golf?
No, man. My drug of choice is my little girls. Like they're I mean it, dude. They're the greatest gift that has ever been given to me of something I probably didn't deserve. And
yeah, you're having a good ribeye though, man. Those when it's perfectly cooked.
Yeah, but
I make you forget a kid. I
don't know. Maybe you do, but like I can't snuggle a ribeye. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, I can. I've done it.
Have you seen them? They've snuggled.
You should see my OnlyFans. That's all I do. I just hug those steaks.
Only food.
Only food.
Only food.
Dude, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
It's good to see you.
You too. Thank you guys for. It's really cool. You know, when I made this album, I wasn't thinking of it as like I was like, I just want to make a solid album. Whatever happens, happens. And the ability to come in here, like making an album that I didn't think was like intended for country radio or anything. It wasn't like I was anti. I was just like, I don't expect them to be like, we're gonna play these songs.
See, it sounds
that's
like
the
it's
secret.
intended for country fans.
And that's the secret.
But maybe that is because, dude, like sitting here, like you in the headphones behind us, I've heard you play a couple of these songs that like aren't the ones I've even released yet, and I'm like, these sound good in my
Sounds
headphones.
good.
Like this sounds really good on here.
Yeah.
So I was like, I hope you guys know like what you're doing by just talking about it and giving me the opportunity to also chat about it is a big deal for me. So I appreciate that.
You bet.
Good to see you again, man.
You too, man.
And tell Jared we said hey.
Yeah. Dude, he had a baby. He's doing great.
What?
Yeah.
With that girl we set him up with?
No, not that girl.
Oh, different
not that
one.
girl.
Jake Owen, the album, it's come out November 7th. It's called Dreams to Dream. You can also check him out online, Instagram. He does lots of great stuff with the guitar, sitting and playing. It's one of my favorite things. The one and only Jake Owen.
Thank you.
Wow, that was a great video.
Pretty good.
I know you want to watch more of our videos, so do the like and subscribe thing.
Thank you, and sorry about all that.